name's David, the Farmer of Destruction Duran. October 25th, BAMMA, Badbeat 11. I'll be fighting Rick Rojo. So my last fight was against Aziz Rashid. He was also coming off a loss. He was a tough fighter. He's a stand-up guy. He likes to come out and bang. Unfortunately, I think he took my my stand-up for granted. Probably thought I was a ground guy only, so he tried to defend the takedown. I still took him down. I think that got him worried about the takedown, and I was able to set up the shot to where I knocked him out. Previous to that, Badbeat 10, I had a tough fight against Juan Archuleta, which I definitely will see again. I want that fight eventually. That guy was a tough guy, man. Division I wrestler. You know, I felt like I fared pretty good against his wrestling. He was able to steal the rounds towards the end, but at the end of the day, man, my stand-up proved to be better. But at the end of the day, the judges just decided against me. So, what are you gonna do? Don't leave it in the hands of the judges, right? Juan Archuleta, that guy took the fight on late notice. I think we had about 3, possibly 4, don't quote me, opponent changes. At the end of the day, man, I tell everybody that I meet that are like, oh, you fight, you do this, you do that. At the end of the day, man, everybody is in love with the idea of being a fighter. It's not the fact that you make all this money, you're in the spotlight. You know, there's fighters that fight for glory. You know, until you get punched in the face, you got 80% of the guys that are like, this is not for me. Let me go to CrossFit. You know, go figure. So, but same thing with like Aziz Rashid. He wasn't the original opponent also. I think we had 2 or 3 opponent changes with that. You know, at the end of the day, I tell Brett Roberts every time, when I signed up to fight, the only way I'm not getting in that cage is if my arm is physically off of my body. Other than that, I'm fighting with injuries, I'm fighting with whatever I gotta fight for, because at the end of the day, this is my dream and this is what I wanna do for a living, how to provide for my family. Honestly, I don't know anything about Rick Rojo. I know he's my next opponent. I'm just training in all facets of the game, you know. I tell everybody as well, you know, you can't rely too much on a game plan, because at the end of the day, what if he takes you down? You know, and your game plan was to take him down. Well, your game plan just went out the window. So I think to be an excellent mixed martial artist, you got to be well-rounded in every facet of the game. It was business as usual, man. I never went into Badbeat 10 expecting to lose. So I went in there with the mindset of I'm going to get my hand raised at the end. Unfortunately, it didn't happen. Fortunately for Juan Archuleta, it did. You know, at the end of the day, like I said, we will meet again. I'm not used to losing. I had one loss in my amateur career, so I mean that just goes to show I'm not used to losing. So it actually lit a fire under my ass, you know. It got me hungry again, to where usually the last one on the mat, I'm always trying to outwork everybody. I mean, as you guys can see here today, I go with all the 55ers, all the 70s, all the 85ers. I go with all these big guys, and they're like, oh, take it easy on them. But at the end of the day, these guys aren't taking it easy on me, because at the end of the day, I'm throwing everything I got in my punch. So, you know, that works out for me. And then I got the small guys as well. You know, Edgar, I got all these little guys, 35ers, 45ers, that I'm still able to work that facet of speed with. So, you know, just basically staying well-rounded, I think, is a huge key to everything in this game. Knockout of the night, be first clothing. You know what? It was a sense of accomplishment, man. Honestly, I had been throwing that kick for a while, and it hadn't paid off yet. You know, and in every fight, I throw that kick, whether it's with the left, whether it's with the right. You know, I have a lot of guys that I pick stuff up off of, not just here at Total, but also at All In. You know, I train with, you know, the likes of Cisco Rivera, Fabian Gonzalez, a lot of these guys that are up and coming, you know, UFC guys and whatnot. So, you know, these guys are always giving me tips on how to improve my kicks, how to set it up a little bit better, you know. So I'm sure that kick wasn't the same kick I was throwing a year ago. It was probably the same setup, but it probably had a little bit different pitch, different swing on it, just because I work with guys that are giving me the little things that are gonna make my game elevate to the next level. But definitely being a candidate and then winner of Knockout of the Night was definitely awesome, man. I was able to celebrate that night and get back to work the next day. The Farmer Destructions, he always comes out to finish the fight. Whether it's by knockout, whether it's by submission, doctor stoppage, the guy just tells me to stop, whatever it is, you know, I'm coming to finish the fight. So at the end of the day, just expect a high pace, you know, sporadic punches, kicks, ground game, mixing everything up. I'm of the mindset that I don't like to be a boring fighter, because boring fighters aren't the guys that the people want to come and see. Nobody wants to sit there and see two guys laying on each other. You know, granted, that is part of the game. It's a grueling part of the game, and the fan base, they don't understand that part. All they want to see is a guy get knocked out. They want to see a guy get tapped. They want to see this. They want to see that. So, you know, at the end of the day, we are here to fight for our livelihood. We are here to fight for, you know, whatever it is that our dream is. But at the end of the day, it's the fans that make us. So we come out and we try and put on a show. So definitely, you're gonna definitely see a show for me, knockout or submission. I won't go any other way. I think there's a fine line between cockiness and confident, and a lot of people do flirt with it. Unfortunately, some people will sit there and label me cocky, but at the end of the day, they're entitled to their opinion. You know, my walkout song, "Awesome God" by R. Swift. I'm actually pretty deep into my faith. You know, I believe God has a plan for me. I have a wife, I have a daughter, and, you know, I represent them every time I'm in that cage. There's a saying, it's a scripture, you know, I can do all things through Christ who strengthens me. I say that every time before I walk out to that cage. And, you know, the goal obviously is to get to the big show. You know, BAMMA obviously provides a great path to that stepping stone. So, you know, I go out there every time with the intention of, this is my dream. And the person across the cage has not worked as hard as me, has not put in all the extras that I do, aside from being at the gym, aside from working with all my training partners. I do extra stuff that people don't even get to see. You know, it's just funny because my wife just last night posted something on her Instagram, and it was her at her kitchen, at our dining room table with a real nice meal, a glass of wine, watching the 49er game. As soon as I got off the mat, I seen that, and it pissed me off, because as a fighter, I'm missing that. I'm missing these times in my wife's life, in my daughter's life. So people ask me, how come you're always the last one on the mat? How come you're always pushing the extra mile? Well, that's because I'm missing those facets of my life. So I need to make sure that every moment I spend on this mat is worth it and is getting me somewhere, and I'm getting better every day, because I'm missing very important elements and very important moments in my family's life. So I don't come in here to BS, I come in here to work every time. First and foremost, I want to thank God. I want to thank my wife, Erica, my daughter, Mallory. You know, they support me day in, day out. I have a lot of sponsors, 2 Ill Clothing, you know, my gyms, Total MMA Studio, Atlantic Box, another one. I have angelsforgotten.com, which is a charity. You know, I do a little bit of charity work with them. Franchise Customs. Man, there's just so many. I could probably look on my shorts. Royce, Gracie Training Center, Santa Fe Springs, Stone Trade Las Vegas. What else? All-Star Industrial Doors. Sorry, guys. You know, I have a lot of people to thank, a lot of people that support me. Definitely thank my hometown, Whittier, California. You know, I'm a Whittier boy. I know Brett Roberts is a Whittier boy. So, you know, represent the 562 from Whittier to Long Beach. Just want to thank everybody. BAMMA, Brett, JR, Gallo, all you guys, man. You guys always do a phenomenal job with everything, the marketing, you know, putting the show together, free ice. You know, whatever you guys got, man, I appreciate everybody's support. You know, fighting at Commerce, being from Whittier, it's like I could actually take a run there for my warm-up. So it's awesome, man, because everybody goes to that fight, you know. If they don't go to the fight, they're at the Commerce Casino. So, you know, everybody there is local. So, you know, it's my manager's job to get my name out there. But at the end of the day, like, everybody from my age group and the class that I graduated from, they all know who I am. You know, they all support me, Facebook, Instagram, whatever, you know. So they're a big part of why, you know, they always watch all the Badbeats, you know, live stream, TV, you know, whatever it may be. So, you know, my goal is to get everybody out there at one time. Obviously, it doesn't always work out like that, but at the end of the day, you know, everybody has their lives aside from them. But I appreciate the support, and, you know, I'm going to represent Whittier to the day that I die as a fighter. This is David, the Farmer Destruction Duran, Badbeat 11, October 25th. Me and Rick Rojo are going to be throwing down in the cage. Expect a high sporadic pace, exciting fight, knockout submission. Someone's going down. Definitely be on the lookout.